From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBIC, the Primetime Capper. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling the same. And it is time for the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles. So let's get into it, man. We had ourselves some great games last night, even though that they were a little on the blowout side, but still we had some good games last night, regardless of anything, because we have some idea about what's going on for game 6. We got two teams that are now up 3-2, and surprise, it's crazy that it's going to be this team. 76ers shocked the Celtics in a 115-103 blowout to take control of series, are now 3-2 with a chance to end series at home. So, man, the Philadelphia 76ers had an excellent game last night. They played very strong for a team that everybody pretty much had already written them off before the game even started. The Celtics would do enough to go ahead and beat up on them one more time in Boston. Well, that wasn't the case. What happened last night was Joel Embiid showed up and Joel Embiid showed out. But he had a lot of help last night from a guy by the name of Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, who's sitting right there in that picture right there, had 30 points last night. He also went ahead and hit the send you home bucket as well too. Last night he was 10 for 21, but he was 50% from the three-point stripe. He was 6 for 12 in that regard, plus 15 on the plus and minus for this team last night. 7 rebounds as well too, with 3 assists, and he played the most minutes last night as well too, with 41 minutes last night to help this team go ahead and win this basketball game by 12 points. But they led almost by 21 points at one point in this game, and they just really never looked back. They took a 7-point lead in the first quarter, and it was never a doubt about it. They won every single quarter last night. They really took care of their business. Like, seriously, a lot of people did not have the vision of the Boston Celtics losing that game. I took the 76ers to cover because I felt like it was going to be a close game, but Boston winds up winning. But what happened was that Boston ran into the same thing that they've been running into all season, and that's pretty much not being able to close up at home. They've had games like this before where Boston should win this one by 15 or better or 20 or better, and Boston winds up actually losing the game by double digits. This happened twice with the Orlando Magic earlier on in the season in Boston. Also, games against teams like OKC and things like that. This team can play like a top-tier elite team in the NBA, and then they can look like a lottery team on some days as well, too. I think that they were a little tired coming into this game, and they just played really flat. It's just that simple. And they had this idea that they were going to be able to find some type of spark at some type of point to make some type of big run because they were in Boston. They didn't thoroughly go out there and try to absolutely dominate this game. But when you do understand how good your team really truly is, you don't get too worried about winning a game on the road when you know that you can win games on the road. That's the whole thing. Boston was one of the better road teams in the NBA this year, and Boston seemed to always step up to the plate when it was time to win a road game as well, too. So the pressure's really on this Philadelphia 76ers. Simply being is because Doc Rivers has blown this game before. Doc Rivers has been in this spot before. where he'll win a game 5 where nobody saw it coming. Then next thing you know, they play game 6, they get beat. Then they play game 7, they get beat again, and then he's out. So pretty much Boston has a lot working in their favor because they can go back to last season. Boston was actually in a way tougher spot last year when they played Milwaukee, and Milwaukee was actually 3-2 in the series as well too. And Boston, literally, they had Boston dead to rights, and Boston went in there and blew them away in game 6, then went ahead and blew them away in game 7, and then pretty much moved on to the NBA Finals shortly after that as well. So this team, when you look at them at the end of the day, they are battle tested enough in the playoffs to not blink, to not get too worried, to not panic about things at this point. This is great motivation for the rest of the team, but I know they're going to try to put everything on the coach, but the coach, I go through this with you guys almost every single day. The coach can't play for the team. The coach can do everything. He can line it up, X's and O's, blah, 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 blah. He can give you all the secrets of the trade, but he can't go play the game for you. He can't score the buckets for you. So the coach can only play so much of a part. If you always want to scapegoat back over to the coach, you're not really watching the game. The players have to be held accountable, and the players do know this. So if they really want to go ahead and show and prove exactly who they are in the NBA, they'll go ahead and try to win this game tomorrow. And I think that the Celtics honestly needed this type of motivation because the Celtics were on cruise control. They had this idea that they're automatically walking to the finals the moment that the Bucks lost because their great history over the 76ers over the last 3 or 4 seasons. So pretty much with that, I feel like this game will be a very, very good game come tomorrow. We'll break it down a little bit more when we get to that game. But Boston just lost last night simply because they were flat and they just really weren't into effort. And Boston, when they play with effort, nobody can beat them. But when they play with half-ass effort, those are the results that you get. Simple as that. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Let's talk about our next topic in hand. And that was last night with the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets were absolutely incredible. Nuggets cruised to a 118-102 win over the Suns to break the tie in series, now up 3-2. And you know what? There was no surprise there with Jokic and crew because at the end of the day, Jokic and crew are the best team in the West. It's that simple. I know everybody wants to give Bron and the Lakers their just due. Everybody wants to still consider the Warriors because they're last year's world champions. You know, everybody talks about the Suns because they have Booker and KD. But this is the most complete team in the Western Conference, if not the NBA. And Jokic last night had no problems leading this ball club to an easy win, in my opinion, last night. And I told you guys what was coming. Every single game Denver has played against Phoenix has not been close. Okay, game 2, you know, Phoenix had a little bit of a lead, things like that. Chris Paul got hurt. He was out the game or whatever. And pretty much what happened after that is that Phoenix winds up losing the game by 10. They lost the first game by 17? They lose last night by 16. So my point is this. The Denver Nuggets have showed that they can have 6, 7 guys scoring double figures every night. Phoenix really only has 2 guys. It's KD and Booker. And last night, pretty much what happened was Booker had 28, Durant had 26, and then after that, DeAndre Ayton had 14. Other than that, nobody scored in double digits last night. The highest score they had after that was Terrence Ross off the bench with 9. I told you guys, if you cut out an extra guy scoring 20 points on the Suns, they don't stand a chance. And that's the whole thing because they're playing against a deeper team. Yes, they have the 2 best players in the series in Booker, 2 best scorers, as I should say. The 2 best scorers in the series when you have Booker and Durant. But the best players in the series are playing on Denver's side, and they're a duo as well too. Jamal Murray is playing great basketball, great leading for this team. And then you have Jokic. Jokic is the epicenter of everything for the Denver Nuggets, and he's literally the true true definition of what an MVP is supposed to be for their team. Last night, he got 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists to break a 60-year-old record of Wilt Chamberlain as the all-time leader on triple doubles for a center in the playoffs. So that was incredible in itself too. And he didn't even know, he wasn't even looking for all that, but he was able to get himself that he was able to get the triple double last night. This put them over the top because they didn't need much last night. They got 19 from Jamal Murray. They got 19 from MPJ, who actually did knock down the first, who really set the tone, knocking down 4 of 5 threes in the first quarter. I saw that last night. I was like, okay, he's starting them off in the right direction. He did all this on 27 minutes, 7 of 11 shooting and 5 of 8 from the three-point line. He had himself a hell of a game last night. And Eric Gordon had himself a good all-around game. He had 10 points in 35 minutes with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. That was pretty good. But the guy that put them over the top last night was Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown had 25 points. He was the second leading scorer behind Jokic last night. So they got a big effort from one of their bench guys who shot very well last night, 7 of 11, 50% from 3, 2 out of 4. So he had himself a good night last night as well too. And it just all worked out very well for the Nuggets because they did all the right things last night. It's just that simple. 50 rebounds last night, 32 assists last night. All these things really, really are conducive to great teams and to winning basketball games. And also, they had 10 offensive rebounds last night. And also, they were even when it came to turnovers. They had 10. The Suns had 10. But they limited the Suns in something that they were killing them at, the three-point line. They went 9 for 27 last night. They went 13 for 27. So things just were all a perfect storm last night for the Denver Nuggets. And that's because they were in unison last night after 2 very close games, in Phoenix. And then, game 4 was a very winnable game for them, but a little friction happened there at the end. And then, the game wound up going to the Suns. So 3-2 headed back to Phoenix. And I will tell you this, I feel like the Suns are kind of reeling and they got to make some adjustments. I know Chris Paul is coming back for game 6, but that might be a little bit of detrimental to the team in a sense because he's been out the last 3 games and they've actually won 2 of them without him. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, and we move forward from there. Let's go ahead and jump into tonight's game. Tonight's first game. The first game of tonight, that's going to be the Heat and the Knicks. The Heat coming in here with a 3-1 series lead. We have a over-under of 209.5, and then we have a spread with the Knicks as the favorite as -3 tonight. So you have, once again, the Heat giving away 3 points, and the Heat, it seems like that they've been the favorite. They have been the dog on the road. But in a situation like this, I think odds makers really are trying to get the Knicks money and trying to convince you that the Knicks should win this game tonight. I truly do think that they shouldn't have many issues winning the game tonight. But I really, truly feel in a elimination game, the way that this series has went, it should be a pick'em. Because at the end of the day, the Heat have shown that they're the better team in this series. Even though when it comes down to the actual season records, the Knicks are have won the season series. So that gives me a ray of hope that the Knicks are not all the way out of this thing. I just think that the Knicks got hit with some. I think that the Knicks just literally lost game 1, and that kind of messed up the momentum a little bit of what New York was doing. They had a great game 2. They were able to get a good win there. Game 3, that was a toss out. But game 4, they played their hearts out. They just couldn't get plays executed at the right time. And I think that they know that they're not that far off. The Heat are up 3-1, but the Knicks can look at it in this idea that they have 2 home games out of the next 3. So if they win tonight, they should have the confidence to tell themselves that, we get the final game in New York. And we have to remember, this team is an 8 seed. They barely got into the playoffs. Yes, they're playing great basketball. Jimmy Butler is playing out of his mind right now. Jimmy Butler's playing MVP basketball. He's looking like Jimmy Bubble. He's looking like Jimmy in the bubble right now. But that means absolutely nothing when it comes down to this series and this time of year. The New York Knicks got some dog in them. And I know that they got some dog in them because I saw it in Jalen Brunson the other night. I saw it in Randall the other night. I saw it in Hart the other night. And I truly do think that the Knicks will be able to get over the hump tonight in a spot where they've been really struggling. You know what I mean? To execute. It's just the little things with the Knicks. The Knicks aren't losing these games by a lot of points, and they're not losing these games to where because they're getting outsmarted or anything like that. I think that they're getting a little out hustled. But I think if you can tighten that up a little bit tonight, the Knicks really shouldn't have a problem winning this game, to be honest with you. I think that the Knicks actually do run away with this one because Miami's going to give themselves the idea that they'll be bet that they can go ahead and wrap this thing up at home. You know what I mean? But that's the worst mentality. To me, when you have a 3-1 lead, you have to be thinking that we have to, and you know that you got a home game coming up next. You know, you're on the road. The team's really going with the mentality that, okay, we'll go in here, we'll give it our best shot early. And if we don't get to where we need to be, if we get down 10 points before the fourth quarter, we'll go ahead and throw on the white flag. I don't think Miami needs to play with that mentality. If the game is somewhere near close, they got to keep trying to win this game tonight. Because I'm going to keep it real with you. If the Knicks wind up winning this game tonight and win this game in very convincing fashion, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. We're going 7. We'll be back at the Garden Sunday. Okay? So the Knicks know what time it is. The Knicks have to step it up. And the Heat got to go ahead and try to end somebody's season tonight. It's that simple because I have this gut feeling if the Heat don't end this thing tonight, we go back to the Garden on Sunday, it's not all bets are off. Okay, all bets are off. You won't know who's going to win the game until we get to the 000. So, New York, you win tonight, we'll probably see you back at the Garden Sunday because you'll take that momentum into Miami Friday and get yourself a win because Miami's not playing good with pressure on them. We've already seen that with the loss to the Hawks. Just think about that. This team was the 7th seed. They played the Hawks. Everybody was ensuring that they would be the 7th seed because they won the Southeast Division. They wound up getting beat by 15 by the Hawks. So pretty much they are in the position now of being the 8th seed, and now they're kind of in a position where they're comfortable again. And you don't like Miami to be comfortable because when they were comfortable this season, they were one of the more inconsistent teams in the NBA. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But I'm excited to see exactly what goes down at the Mecca of all hoops and the Mecca of boxing, the Mecca of a lot of things. Madison Square Garden tonight, 4:30. You guys don't miss that game. Will be on TNT tonight as well too. So with that, let's go ahead and move forward to one of you guys' favorite, my favorite. You know what time it is. It's time to talk about those Lakers. State of the Lakers, and you guys already know that. Pretty much tonight is the night. The Lakers have a lot of people who are already going ahead and just already riding them off tonight, making sure that they let everybody know that there's going to be a game 6. There's probably going to be a game 7. There's a lot of people that are picking the Warriors to win the series. Like literally they don't believe in the Lakers actually winning this series. And they really feel like LeBron James is going to blow a 3-1 lead. When have we ever seen LeBron James blow a 3-1 lead? I'll wait. Yeah, because it's never happened. And I don't see it happening anytime. I don't see it happening in the series either. You know how big the revenge is for LeBron here? LeBron lost 2 championships to Curry and crew when he was in Cleveland. Now he's here in La La Land with the Lakers, a team that has all rights to the state of California, even though the Warriors have won 4 championships here in the last decade. They still know who runs everything in the state of California, and that's the Los Angeles Lakers. And this rivalry is really a one-sided rivalry when you look at it in the real historical terms of things, because the Lakers have won the last 6 playoff series against the Warriors as well, too. None of this is getting mentioned, you know what I mean, because they're so wrapped up in what the Warriors used to be. Yeah, the Warriors did win an NBA championship last season, but you know what? That was one of the more predictable seasons that you could ever have in the NBA. And I would say that they might have had an easy path there. The only tough series that they truly had was against the Celtics, and the Celtics made a few mistakes to where they could have won that series in 5 games, but they made a lot of mistakes when it came down to winning that series. And that's why they wound up losing, because they were a team that was very inexperienced when it came down to closing the finals. So that's why, you had the Warriors go ahead and win a fourth championship, and the first time ever beating somebody outside of the Cleveland Cavaliers as well too. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick little stat. Curry has played over 307 minutes in this playoff. That's literally in 11 games. That's 33 minutes a game. He's had about 6 games where he's went over 40 minutes. Half of them he's went over 40 minutes in those games. Steph Curry is absolutely tired. He's actually absolutely drained right now. I've never seen Steph look this tired in games, honestly. And he's scoring a lot of points. He's doing a lot, but you notice that he's missing these shots that he usually makes, and he usually is pretty good at bouncing back and doing all this stuff. But Steph shot terrible in the last game. 3 of 14 from 3, 12 of 30 from the field. Most of that was off of and ones and things like that, because he did get 31 points, but that was a tough 31 points as well too. But the thing that set him apart was having a triple-double in that game. But I felt like Steph put everything out there on the floor in that game. They still couldn't win the game. So why do they have this idea that they're that much better than the Lakers? Steph Curry has given us 2 classic games in a row, and they did not win those games. They got blown out in one, and then they wound up losing the other game by 3. So are they really still those guys? Or are we just living in the fact that we're just used to what the Warriors have been doing over the last few years? You know what I mean? And I think that's more of what it is that people have came with the idea that, the Warriors are always such a lock. They're always such a sure thing, even though they had 2 years where they weren't even in the playoffs. But still, we have this idea that they have this dynasty situation going and everything like that. I just truly feel that they had a last stand last year, but they don't have the reserves that they used to have. They don't have the KDs of the world. They don't have the David Wests of the world anymore. They don't have Sean Livingston anymore. They don't have guys that are just high IQ basketball players anymore. They're really living off the fact that they have Steph, Clay, and Draymond to go ahead and lead a brand new group of guys. And I just truly feel like there's a lot of hype that's going into the Warriors because everybody's used to the Warriors. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they've been playing great basketball and that they're, a top tier superior team anymore. They're the 6th seed. Come on. They're only beat the Lakers by a half a game. They were a half a game apart. The Lakers could have been the 6th seed. They could have been the 7th seed. So when you look at it, you have to say to yourself, let's be honest here. The Lakers have beat them 6 out of 7 times this year as well, too, including the last 3 out of 4. And they beat them actually in the last 5. They've actually beat them. They've actually beat them pretty much, at the end of the year. They had beat them 4 times in a row at one point before they won game 2. So there's just a lot of things that they're not telling us and telling you that separate the Lakers and the Warriors. The Warriors have never had to deal with a team that really has their number. And they haven't really had to do this with a guy like LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It was always easy to stop LeBron when he had Kevin Love and Kyrie and the other guys in Cleveland. But AD's another top 5 player when he's healthy. And, LeBron is seen as the face of the league. So the Warriors know that they're in a tough situation here. They're going against 2 absolute legends right now. And then they have a group that knows how to play their position, and everybody wants to be play a big role in this thing. These guys understand what it takes to be Lakers, and that's what makes this Lakers team so dangerous. But at the end of the day, though, this is a game that is kind of a game where it feels very predictable. It feels like the Lakers will probably go in there, give a great effort in the first half. Then things will probably fall apart in the third quarter, and then they'll be resting AD and LeBron by the time we get to the fourth quarter. But for the Lakers to send a message that they are the best team in the Western Conference and that they're ready for whatever, and that, that it's time and that you need to respect where we're coming from, they need to go ahead and try to win this game tonight. It's not about, pretty much giving your best effort and then we go back to LA and try and win it Friday night. You can't depend on winning in LA on Friday night. You just can't, because you're going to be at home and you're going to have a crowd yelling and screaming. That's even more pressure. Then the pressure's on the Lakers. It's not on the Warriors anymore. That's what people have to understand when you're trying to close out a game and you're the team that's the road team to start the series. You have to be ready to win whenever. You have to be ready to win that fourth game when you get to that third win. It doesn't matter what time it is in the series. And I think that the Lakers tonight need to put in a valiant effort to win this game. I'm ready to accept them having a poor effort, but I'm not banking on them having a poor effort. It's just that's kind of like how these situations are drawn up a little bit. But I think that in quite a scenario that the Lakers could smash that theory tonight, and if they continue to play defense the way that they did and make sure that they don't have a third scorer. That's what the Lakers have been really good at, where they haven't allowed that third scorer to get more than, say, 12 points. And if they can do that tonight, the Lakers are in good shape. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. With that, I'm going to go ahead and take my first commercial break. And when I get back, we're going to go ahead and jump into the Blue Crew Daily, and then also we'll get into the MLB Wednesday night. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Cappers.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Once again, we are headed to the Diamond, and let's go ahead and talk about those Dodgers. The Dodgers game has already commenced. The Dodgers have won that game. Let me double check. Last time I had seen it was 8-1. And yes, it's now final. The Dodgers have won that game 8-1 today. So they win the rubber match. So they win their 4th series in a row. They won 2 out of 3 here. They dropped the first game of the series, then wound up winning the next 2 games. They won 6-2 last night. Mookie Betts led off that game with the home run. The Dodgers never looked back. They had some pretty good moments. They also got some good hitting last night from the rookies as well too. The boys, the puppies. You know what I mean? These guys have been kicking ass lately. Really, really good moments last night. They gave them some runs later on in the game, but they jumped out to a 6-0 lead. Miguel Vargas hit a 434-foot shot. Will Smith also homered in that game as well, too. Will Smith homered today as well. And Freddie Freeman homered. They had back-to-back shots actually at one point in this game. That was actually in the fourth inning. And then Mookie Betts had another RBI today. And Miguel Vargas went deep again today. He went for a 412 shot, knocking in Chris Taylor, putting the lead up 6-1 in the game. And the Dodgers, this is how the stat line looks. Clayton Kershaw, 6-2 on the season, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, and 8 strikeouts. Wade Miley gets the loss, 3-2 on the season now. 5 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, and then he also struck out 3, walked 2. So the Dodgers went ahead and got themselves a great win today, winning that game 8-1 yesterday, 6-2. They were able to Justin Brew got his first win of the season yesterday, and Evan Phillips was the pitcher of record for the save. Eric Lara was the pitcher who lost that game. He went 3.2 innings, gave up 3 runs, and struck out 4, walking 2. So that was that with the Dodgers yesterday. So the Dodgers wind up getting blown out in the first game of the series, and then after that, the Dodgers wind up outscoring them 14-3 on the way out. And the Dodgers get the day off as they fly back to Los Angeles to prepare for a 3-game stretch with the San Diego Padres. And then they have another 3-game series coming up Monday where they play against the Minnesota Twins. So they'll have a day off, and they won't be off until next Thursday the 25th. So the Dodgers are about to play about 11 days, and they're about to play a whole week in a row. It looks like the Dodgers will be playing for possibly the next 2 weeks. So they don't get the day off from now until the 25th. So the Dodgers are going to be playing baseball for the next few weeks. So be ready for the Dodgers to maybe have a little bit of a backup delay somewhat, but things are looking good right now for the Blue Crew. The Dodgers are sitting pretty as well. They're 23-15 right now. They've extended their lead to 2 games now in the division. And as I said before, they're just playing great baseball as we speak. They've won their 4th series in a row, and they've won their last 8 out of 10 games as well, too. So the Dodgers are in a good place right now. They're moving forward, and they are absolutely getting into the groove of what the Dodgers truly are. So with that, let's go ahead and move forward to MLB Wednesday night. We have a bunch of games that already went final, and games that are actually going right now. Let me go ahead and run some scores for you guys real quick. In the finals, we have the Yankees, who won 11-3 today. The Yankees were a heavy favorite. I also gave out the over for that game as well, too, with the matinee pick 6. They were able to get that win. That was a good win today for Jimmy Cordero. Kyle Mueller was the loser of this game, and Devi Garcia actually got the save in this bad boy as well. So, the Yankees needed a 7-run inning to go ahead and win this game, and that's exactly what they did, winning this game 11-3. The Rockies went ahead and won their game 4-3 against the Pirates. I had the Pirates on the money line. Pirates have struggled here since becoming the best team in the National League. They've actually dropped their last 8 out of 9 games. So this team is absolutely going through the struggle right now as we speak. And, pretty much they are being brought back down to earth, in my honest opinion. And then the Tigers, very impressive, winning their 7 out of 9 games to start this month off. They've actually went ahead and won their 3rd series of this month as well, too. And they beat the Tigers. They beat the Guardians 5-0. So those are our first 3 games that are done for the day. We have the Rangers and Mariners in the top of the 5th. Rangers lead that game 3-1. Marlins, Diamondbacks in the bottom of the 4th. They're up 3-2 right now, the Marlins. And then you have the Nationals, who are absolutely crushing the Giants right now. And that's good for me and my clients, because that's actually our client dog bet of the day, which we've hit the first 8 out of 9 this month as well, too. So that one right there is absolutely that's something that I'm loving to look at right now. I can't deny the boy Josiah. Man. Josiah Gray is an absolute gem. I really feel bad that the Dodgers let him go. The Blue Jays and the Phillies 0-0 right now, top of the third. And then we have the Astros Angels right now at the Big A. The Angels are up 2-1, top of the third in that one as well, too. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the games that have not started yet. And I got a few of them for you today. Up first is a good National League matchup between the Mets and the Reds. The Mets are a team that's playing for championships now. The Reds are a team that's building for championships later. They got Hunter Green on the mound, my favorite pitcher in the MLB right now. He's 0, but the funny part about Hunter Green is he's 0-2, but he has 47 strikeouts over 12 walks. He actually had a pretty good game last time out, but then we got to the fifth inning and he got absolutely blown up. The guy started the game off with 6 strikeouts. Then he was only able to get one more after that, but he allowed 5 runs in the fifth inning, and that literally got him pulled from the game as well, too. And that wound up losing the Reds the game as well because they had a 4-0 lead, and he wound up giving up 5 runs at that point. And that absolutely was a crusher for this team. Then he had a great effort against Oakland, but he was not a part of the decision because he was pulled out the game a little earlier. So he's actually been playing some great baseball, but he does need to figure out how he can keep his pitch count down as well, too. So he goes into this Mets game with a lot of confidence, struck out 7 last time out, but he did give up 7 hits as well, too. So he is going to be very excited to go against the savvy vet, Justin Verlander. Verlander struck out 5 in his debut against his former team, the Tigers, but the Tigers actually wound up winning that game as well, too. They hit back-to-back homers off of him to start that game off and then wound up winning the game as well, too. So today he lines it up against a very eager Cincinnati team because they got one of their better pitchers on the mound. Cincinnati was a team that I still really am kind of excited about. I think that this team has a lot of good things going for them, even though this year won't be their year. They're 3-4 this month, so that's not too bad, and they won their last game. The Mets, though, on the other hand, the Mets been struggling, man. Since they had a game that was postponed, they've actually lost their last 6 out of 7, and for this month, they've actually lost 8 out of 7 out of 9 games to start this month as well, too. So, that's not good for a team that's chasing, the pennant this year. They have had some issues. They've lost their last 2 series in a row. You didn't see that coming losing to Colorado, and you didn't see that coming getting swept by Detroit. So this team has to figure out a way to bounce back. They're 17-19 right now, while you have the Reds who are 15-20. Everything's all good at right now, but you're going to have to get this thing fixed fairly quickly if you're the Mets. So with this one today, I like the under. I feel like we're going to get a lot of good pitching going on in this game. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it checks out. We move forward from there. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our next game, which is going to be a good divisional game that we had today, and that's going to be between the White Sox and the Royals. The White Sox coming here, one of the worst teams in baseball, 13-24, and the Royals, they are playing to expectations right now. They're 10-27. Nobody ever expected them to be a really good team this year, not even be a feasible team this year. I told you guys on 30 teams in 30 days, this team was going to be absolutely dreadful. And even Mike tried to tell me, like, but they got hitters, though, Pop. Everybody got hitters, Mike. You know what I mean? I love my brother Mike Avadir, but man, Mike, everybody in the damn league has hitters, bro. So it's not like, they'll do something special. They have no pitching. If you have no pitching in baseball, you're not winning anything. It's that simple. It's just really that simple. So pretty much once they get some pitching, maybe they can think about some hitting. But Lance Lynn is on the mound tonight. Lance Lynn has struggled. He has a 6.86 ERA. He allowed 4 runs in his last game, 4 runs in the 2 previous games before that, and then 5 runs before that. His worst outing of the year was giving up 8 runs against a very lowly San Francisco offense. But the thing about Lance Lynn that's keeping him out on the field is he strikes guys out. He had 8 strikeouts in his last game, even though he gave up 4 runs and 8 hits in that, but he still struck out 8. And then in the Tampa Bay game, he actually struck out 10. And Tampa Bay has the best record in the league. So Lance Lynn is still a pitcher that many do trust coming into this game. But I still truly think that Lance Lynn, who's a really good pitcher, is just going through the struggles this year because, the White Sox are going through the struggles this year. Brad Keller, who's been pitching very well, but he got absolutely wrecked in his last game against Oakland. Oakland were able to get 7 runs on him off 11 hits, but he pitched very well the game before that against the Minnesota Twins, where he struck out 4, only gave up a run, but gave up 6 hits in that game as well, too, going 5 1/3. So Keller, to me, is a guy that he'll pitch a really bad game, but he'll bounce back and have a good game pitching in the next one. And I feel like you cannot give the White Sox this much love on the spread. The White Sox are a -145, -140 today as the money line favorite today. But I don't see them as the favorite today because they don't have the better pitcher on the mound. Lance Lynn has been doing well, but Lance Lynn gives up a lot of runs. And I think today is a day where you have the Kansas City Royals with the idea, this is our day to erupt a little bit. They've been a little off in this series. So I like the Royals today I love the Royals today with the dog of the day pick plus 120. So we're going to take our home dog today, and hopefully we can get this bad boy home. Yesterday, we hit the client dog bet with the Orioles plus 110, but we weren't able to get home that plus 155 yesterday. Who were we on with the play? Yeah, we were on Boston, and Boston did not get it home for us yesterday. So hopefully Kansas City, who's probably been in the MLB dog bet of the day about 6 times this year, and they've won half of those times for us. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. But plus 120 today on the home doggy dog on the Kansas City Royals. All right, so let's go ahead and move forward. Let's talk about our last game, which is going to be an interleague game, which is a really good game. Padres 19-17, Twins 19-17, over under of 8.5 tonight. We have Seth Lugo on the mound for the Padres, and then we have Pablo Lopez, last year's Cy Young, on the mound for the Twins. Now, he did pretty well in his last game, struck out 8, gave up 2 runs, gave up 6 hits against the White Sox. Now, you have Lugo, who pitched very well against Cincinnati last time out. He wound up striking out 5, only giving up a run, but he gave up 7 hits in that game as well, too. But he did record a win in that spot. So pretty much with that, I truly do feel like what happens here is that we have kind of an even game, but at the end of the day, I think that the Twins will have enough to win this because Pablo Lopez has been so good with the Twins this season. When you really look at it, when you really put everything together. And he actually has been very good in his last 2 starts. Well, actually, no. His last 2 starts prior to this, his recent start, he got a little shellacked. Over 10 innings, he gave up 11 runs, over 16 hits, and he struck out 13 in that regard. But he's bounced back. Other than that, he's been pretty good. You know what I mean? So pretty much after those 2 games, I think they made some adjustments. He might have been a little bit of a tired arm as well too, but I believe solely in Pablo Lopez having a big, huge game tonight, and hopefully he can get some good run support. But I do have the Twins winning this game tonight, and I do like the way that this one sets up for us tonight. I think that you have yourself 2 of the better teams in baseball right now, and these teams do have a great opportunity to be in the playoffs this year as well too, and go a little bit further, possible World Series candidates as well too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but I am taking the Twins tonight with the minus 130. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and when I get back, we're going to go ahead and jump into Talking Tickets. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and jump into Talking Tickets. We have ourselves 3 groups today, and up first is going to be the MLB Super High 5. This one is going to be for 34-1 odds today. So the Rays had a pitching change today. Jalen Beeks is going to be on the mound instead of Chinros, but Dean Creamer has not been good this season. I thought Dean Creamer was actually going to be probably one of the bright spots of the pitching rotation for the Orioles, but not so much yet. He'll probably get better as the year goes along. I know he was coming back from a little injury and everything like that, but I do like the Rays today because it seems like I keep fading the Rays and I got to stop doing that. So I do like the Rays today with the -1.5. They're getting good value as well too with the +135. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. And I already explained with the Mets and the Reds, it's all about the pitching matchup today. I would say that you would want to bet both pitchers to go over their strikeout rates today. I think that possibly you have Hunter at 5.5, 6 or so, and I think you would have Verlander at about 6 or so as well too. I think both guys will absolutely be going at it. I see a good old-fashioned pitchers duel going in this one today. So I'm going to go ahead and take that under 9 with the Mets and the Reds here. Then we have the over 10 with the Red Sox and the Braves. I had a good little talk with you guys yesterday about the history of the Red Sox and the Braves and, the Boston Braves and the Boston Red Sox and how they shared that little city for 50 years and all that good stuff. Well, yesterday the Red Sox really let us down by getting their butts absolutely smacked. So today, no dogs of the day with the Red Sox. We'll go ahead and take the over 10 runs today in this spot. I think that that's a good bet there. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But it seems like they have the pitchers in place to help us get that over today. So let's see how it goes. And then the Royals, as I already said, are my dog of the day for like the 6th time this year. I'm going to count because I have all my dog bets on a list so I can keep counting the standings of it. And I know that the Royals were on April's list a lot. This is the first time they've been on May's list. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But this is a good spot today if you are looking for a good dog bet. The Royals at home, they got the better pitcher in this spot. He had his bad game last game. He should be able to bounce back today against that really bad White Sox lineup. Lineup is not that good. And then we end up with the Twins. The Twins, very tough spot for the Twins, though, because they're going against the Padres today, but it's all about the pitcher today. I think Pablo Lopez will be able to tame that lineup a little bit and to keep it real. They've been struggling. Nobody's been talking about it, but since Tatis got back, those hitters are not hitting the way that you would expect them to hit. They're not doing that well with runners in scoring position. And literally they spent all that money because they thought that was going to be something they would be the top team in, knocking in guys in scoring position. But as we speak right now, they're not even in the top 15 when it comes to that. So pretty much with that, that's a 34-1 ticket. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. And that's going to be today's MLB Super High 5. All right, so we move forward, and here goes the Heat and Knicks game bets for Game 5. I got the Knicks winning this game tonight. I know I could just do the money line and overspend on some insurance. It's -165 right now. I guarantee it'll probably be -155 by the time we get to tip because all the late money is going to go in on Miami because people are going to have that idea that Miami is going to win the game tonight. Everybody just wanted to see how the line was going to be presented. And I know it probably in the next – as the game starts in the next 2.5 hours, the next 2.5 hours, you will see a big deposits on the Heat. I just truly feel like that's how it's going to be, because that's usually how it is in a clinching game. And Miami is the dog, but they're a short dog tonight. So a lot of people will probably have a lot of confidence in that, but they'll make it the number that they want by the time we get the tip. So expect the Knicks to get down to minus 155 or minus 150. And if you can grab them at that number, go ahead and do it. But I think that the 3.5 is good enough. And let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. But I got the Knicks winning this game tonight, extending this series. I really feel like we will be back at the Garden on Sunday, because they've already handed things to the Heat, and the Heat have showed me that they haven't been good at closing things this year. So we're going to see if they can prove me wrong tonight. Then we have the Knicks first half minus 160. I feel like the Knicks will have a comfortable lead at the half as well too. The Garden will be rocking. Everybody will be into it. Everybody's going to be going crazy. And I think that the Garden will be a very, very hostile situation tonight for the Heat. And then in the first quarter, I feel like we'll have a low scoring quarter, defensive quarter as well too. So the under 53.5 first quarter, we'll see how it goes. And then I just think that the Heat don't even get to 100 points tonight. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I wish I had it to where if you can go ahead and play the Heat under 100.5, I would play that as well too. I don't think that they get to 95 points tonight. I think that they really are going to shut that down. I'm going to keep it real with you. I think that they really are going to shut all this down tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, and we'll just go from there. All right, so pretty much let's get to the Lakers and the Warriors. The Lakers tonight, it's Homer J. Simpson. It's Homer J. Simpson time. You know what I mean? And I don't like to do this. I don't like to do this because I like to be fair, things like that. But it's tough for me to y'all gotta understand. I'm gonna keep it real. If being a Laker fan, I try to still keep things really wide, open-minded, because I'm a franchise first guy. It's never about the players. But when it comes to beating a certain team, I've never wanted to beat a team as bad as beating the Warriors. I don't know. I appreciate you winning in championships, but all the cockiness and all the skipping of the lines and saying that your team would beat Showtime, your team can beat the three-peat, the two-time three-peat Bulls, or you guys can beat the three-peat Lakers, or you guys can beat the Bad Boys or the Celtics. I don't think that they could beat any of those teams, to be honest with you. I think that they are blessed to play in a bad era of basketball that kind of caters to the style of play that they have, because a lot of players don't love the game as much as they used to. You know what I mean? A lot of guys just love the idea of being NBA players. And I feel like they are like the leaders of the pack when it comes to that. So pretty much if anybody can end the Warriors dynasty, it's the Lakers. And how about tonight? Why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Why not? They don't deserve anything. And the Lakers have to bring the structure and the order back to the NBA. It's up to the Lakers. It wasn't up to LeBron. It was up to the Lakers. We've done this before. It's either the Lakers or the Celtics that have to bring order back to the NBA. The Celtics failed last year when they lost that championship. So now the Lakers got to clean up another mess Boston couldn't clean up. But it's going to be a tough game tonight. That's why I'm not having the Lakers up here as the winner of the game. But I do like the Lakers tonight with the plus 7.5 to keep this game close. If anything, they end this thing on Friday. Yep, Friday. So the Lakers, it's either going to be tonight or Friday, in my opinion. And if they don't win either of those games, then Sunday is going to be a really, really tough task. You know what I mean? So the Lakers want to get one of these games. That's all I can advise with that. The over 115 first half, love that play. I think that's going to be probably your best bet tonight is the over 115 first half. I think that's an absolute slam dunk for you. And then the Lakers, the only way the Lakers win this game is starting off with a great first quarter. So I think the Lakers do start off with a great first quarter tonight. We're going to take plus 160. That would be a great way to kick off this game with some plus money. So if the Lakers set the tone early and get themselves in shape to win this game, watch out. watch out. That's all I can say. And then I got the Lakers going over 108.5 tonight as well, too. I think that we are in for a high-scoring game on both sides, and it seems like it's been like that with the Warriors all year when they absolutely can win a game that they're going to give up a lot of points as well, too. So usually the Warriors are pretty good when they're not playing great defense and they're just scoring a lot of points, and the other team doesn't want to play great defense as well, too. But the Lakers, though, they know that they're going to have to play some pretty tight defense to start this game off, or the game will be lost very early. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But that's Talking Tickets for you today. And once again, man, we are here at the end. Now, I know I say once again a lot. I know everybody's like, damn, we gonna stop saying that. So you already know. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are the absolute best as always. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be talking some more. We'll be fallouts for game 5s of tonight, and then we'll be previewing game 6s tomorrow as well, too. Talking some more baseball as well. And, pretty much getting ourselves prepared for the weekend as well, too. So you guys are the absolute best. And as I always like to say, bet with your head and not with your heart. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I actually bought this during the pandemic. This is a matches with my little New York Knicks coat that I wear a lot as well, too. So, I'm trying to bring the Knicks some luck today, relative. So, let's see if they can get some luck. And if they win tonight, all my New York folks, you better hit me up. Y'all better get to signing up. Y'all better get to watching the show, retweeting, doing all that good stuff, man, because this is the premier sports betting show for a reason. So pretty much with that, once again, want to thank you guys. You guys are the best, man. That's all I can tell you is that you guys are the best. There is no me without you. And once again, this is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Kappa. I'll be right back at you tomorrow, and you guys enjoy your day. Games start at 4:30, and, man, I look forward to some big moments tonight, and I got this feeling that neither one of these teams are clinching tonight. But if anybody clinches tonight, let it be the Lake Show. Let's go. All right. I'm gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.